want to come say a couple words to us, Jack? Keep it brief. Come on. Thank you, Fred. I'll try to keep it brief. I'm always very happy to be back here at 89 just because of the friendships that I've forged over a number of years, whether it was in that race in 2002 for Congress or my previous run for Attorney General, or when I stepped up to run for the U.S. Senate a couple of years ago. And I know that didn't turn out last fall like we all wanted, but the Teamsters stepped up for me in the primary. The Teamsters stepped up and said, Jack, we believe in you. We've got your back the whole way. And I can tell you, as someone who's in public service, and I've said this to Fred, I said it to Aubrey, I said it to all your leadership. We remember our primary election friends. We love each other in the general, but I remember you, and I remember that you were there for me. I will never forget it. Your issues are my issues, and I will always be your champion. I have an opponent running against me who's saying some god-awful things. He went on local TV here recently and told a tale about his grandfather, that supposedly his grandfather was a member of the mine workers, but that he has realized 2 generations later that we have enough inspectors and there's no need for the mine workers and there's no need for unions. That's what he said. Check it out. Look at CN2. My granddad, too, was a union member. He was a union blacksmith a couple blocks north of here at the old L&N Railroad for 47 years. But you're looking at someone 2 generations later that hadn't forgotten where he came from, that hadn't forgotten that people work and they sweat and they worry just because they want health security and job security and retirement security. And those are the type of people you need in office, not this charlatan that's running against me. I need your vote. I need your help. I need your feet on the street, because they are going to take a shot at me this year. They're going to try to get me out of office. And who's going to try to get me out of office? The people that don't care about working men and women. Because you know what I've done as Attorney General? I just haven't come here every few years and give you a speech and acted like I supported labor. When the teachers came to me and said, General Conway, they're trying to take away tenure in the community and technical college system. When AFT came and said that to me, I wrote an opinion of the Attorney General that said, no, you're not going to do that. When the carpenters came to me and said, Jack, we're really concerned about some illegal immigrants that suddenly have IDs up in northern Kentucky, we opened an investigation where we found someone in the federal government was making fake IDs for illegal immigrants that were taking the jobs. When the building trades came to me and said, Jack, we want you to honor prevailing wage and say that project labor agreements can govern when it comes to school construction throughout the state, I wrote an opinion to the Attorney General and said, yes, if we're going to use public dollars to construct expensive schools, we're going to make certain that skilled tradesmen and quality prevail, and we're going to have project labor agreements. And when you all came to me a couple of years ago and said, you know what? UPS treats us as workers. UPS pays unemployment insurance, Governor Beshear. UPS pays payroll taxes. But FedEx claims that their ground employees are independent contractors. What I said was, if you can control someone down to the color of their socks and what they wear, that's an employee. Don't misclassify them. Don't say they don't work for you. As soon as FedEx, we're going to make FedEx change their policies and they're going to pay to stay what they owe them. Yeah. That's the type of Attorney General I've been. That's the type of Attorney General I'll continue to be. I don't see this as a voting politician relationship. I see it as a friendship. I'm not going to tell you I'm a card-carrying member of a union. I'm not. My granddad was. But I went over to 651 in Lexington recently, and Mike Philbeck was so happy with my tenure as Attorney General, he gave me this. You got it, I keep it in my pocket. It stays in my billfold. I just happen to have it here with me tonight. It says I'm an honorary member of 651. Now, Aubrey, I don't have an 89 card, and Denny ain't got a 387 card. So I want one of those as well. But let me tell you this. I know this, having been your Attorney General, and I know it from wanting to be your Attorney General for another 4 years. Companies like FedEx, companies like pharmaceutical companies, the oil companies, the gas companies that I've gone after that gouge us at the pump, folks, they've got plenty of lawyers. The working men and women of Kentucky, they've got one advocate. That's me. As long as I hold this office, I'm going to treat it just as it ought to be treated, to dispense justice fairly, and as the largest public interest law firm in the Commonwealth. Thank you. God bless you.